We're licking some mechanical wounds.
That's not that bad. It's had a little bit of electrical fire.
A small electrical fire last night. Remember that time we traveled around Baja for 2 months with friends and our dog Klaus? We're back at it again with our 2-year-old dog Carlos. And this time we've created a whole new route that ends in mainland. And we're testing it out to see if it's fan-friendly. So this ought to get interesting. We're Brian, Marisha, and Carlos. A 4x4 van, 2 people, 1 dog. Welcome back to Baja 2, slower and lower. Last time we tested out the infamous route to Matomi Falls. It was bumpy, and it really stressed out the van. And we got stuck in the middle of nowhere. Twice. We didn't make it very far. And we had to turn around 5 miles from the finish line.
So we took some hits, a lot of hits.
But we aren't defeated yet. Welcome back. Feeling a little discouraged, but not defeated. We were in search of a camp spot on the beach to regroup, assess the damages, and start fresh the next day. All right, we're back. We made it out. We've already said that. And we're headed towards our evening camp spot. Somewhere either Bahia San Luis Gonzaga or Bahia San Francisquito. Depending on what we find, we're at camp. But we stopped, filled up water, filled up gas.
Got chippies, got stuff for Kiko.
Yeah, we got some fresh food because we hadn't picked up any fresh food yet. So yeah, we are looking good, and we'll pick you up when we find our camp spot for the night.
What if it closes in on us, the range?
This little routine here is pretty typical when you're trying to find a place to camp on the beach and none of the roads are on a map. Oh, this is our spot. This is our spot.
Also, we could scoop a little bit of sand to even it out. I don't know. What do you think of the view?
I think you nailed it.
Fish just jumped out of the water right there.
Carlos's head's gonna explode the second we let him out.
What do you think? Do you think you want to camp right here?
Is this a good camp?
Is this a good spot for you?
Do you know what we're gonna go do?
Go swimmy swims.
We're gonna swimmy swims.
Uh-oh.
What? This is an alright camp spot. You know, we didn't get a natural spring. Carlos is barking at rocks because he doesn't understand the ocean. Don't let that rock get the best of you, buddy. Just don't do it. He does not know what to make of this business.
Come here, come and check this one out. What's it? Yeah, that's nothing.
Why don't we come to the flat spot? Come on. This is better. Tough guy. And before we forget, here's where we camped.
Carlos call. Check. He's looking for sticks right now. And pretty much anything else he could possibly track down, hunt, or eat. We're gonna have a day of concrete today, I believe, for a good chunk of time. Try to get south to Baja Sur, so we're gonna be pushing through to that today. But it's a good morning. It's really cool in the mornings for sure. I don't know what temperature it is exactly. I would guess it's 50s. Kind of feels like that a little bit. It's been nice. So we had it hot up north, and then it cooled down as we were heading south a little bit. But I think it was just mainly a heat wave when we were in the hundreds. It's been in the mid 80s now, so it's been pretty comfortable. If you're in the shade, it's really nice. And then it cools down pretty quick in the evenings, and then at night it's actually chilly, so you can control your temperature in the van or whatever you're camping in. So it's this time of year is good because everyone's kind of heading north to a certain extent. The Baja races are over and the temperature's still nice, so if you're thinking about coming down, this is a decent time to do it for sure. If we see anything interesting today, we'll show it to you. Look what just
Leave me alone.
got up. Sweet, sweet angel Marisha.
Carlosy, come here. Did you go out on the sand? While Brian airs up our tires, we went back to the market that we went to yesterday, which is in Papa Fernandez, Rancho Grande, and you can get purified water here. They have a little restaurant, they have a market, and there's a gas station, Pemex across the street. But we bought this pineapple yesterday, and we couldn't, I was like, did we pay for it? It's not in the van. Did we leave it on the counter? Brian's like, I took it. I might have set it down when I grabbed the garlic. And I just thought, I was like, oh, maybe we didn't pay for it, but we'll go back because there was a good one and a bad one. I'm like, see if it's still there and I'll buy it. So I walk in and they're so sweet. And they told me that I did buy it yesterday and forgot it there. And they set it aside for me just in case I came back. So sweet. Guys, don't believe everything you read and hear on the freaking news. Don't even get me started on the news. So that's awesome. And they gave me a birthday muffin for Brian because today's his birthday. Because I told them that the pineapple was for his birthday. And about 2 frozen mango purees, which I don't know, I think they're gonna be good. Let's hope they stay frozen in our freezer. I love proving the media wrong. They just, all these people have been like, be careful down there, be careful down there. But why? It's, you know, I have probably more of a chance of getting stabbed in the face in a major city in the United States. So, there you go. We're gonna leave it at that, kids. I'm excited. I put your birthday muffin in the refrigerator.
Refrigerator? Why would you do that?
So it stays nice and cold. We'll eat it later.
I don't want muffins cold. I want muffins room temperature.
Well, we'll take it out later. I don't want it to get moldy.
I eat moldy stuff all the time.
I know you do. From Papa Fernandez, we pushed south into Baja Sur, where we ended up camping, refueling, restocking, and dealing with some pretty serious mechanical issues. Got a checkpoint. Wish us luck, kids. We're getting our fill at the grocery. Chips and veggies. It's kind of whole wheat.
Yeah, these are just 8-pack.
And Pacifico. Yeah, the Ocho. Brian bought the Ocho. The 8-pack. We got the Ocho.
I know the Ocho for sure.
Last time we were here, we got tequila. And we call it the goat. It's probably what that means, but the goat. If you ever see the goat, run. It's not good. It actually smells and tastes just like diesel.
It's so
like not even a little bit. but a lot of it.
And you get a sidecar.
It's not worth it.
It
was bad. It was only for desperate times.
It's $15.
Yeah, that's crazy. That should not be that expensive. We always go for the tequilas we've never heard of. What do you think? I would ask for your opinions, but by the time you give it, it's too late.
For sure.
Would you like a fine sangria? Oh, laid in there saved my life. I got a UTI. Cost me 195 pesos and no doctor visit. Awesome. If you guys want to know what a typical larger town in Baja, what it looks like, this is pretty typical. Keep in mind there are stop signs every other block. Yeah, this is it. You have your main drag with the grocery stores and the chicken roasters and the taquerias and the, you name it.
Pollo, 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 pollo.
Yeah, we've had pollo twice already. There you have it.
Our running total is 2 pollos, tacos, and nothing.
No tacos. We have not had any tacos yet. We've been actually trying to eat a lot of the food that we brought with us from home, so it's not spoiled. But we'll settle in soon enough. Don't you guys worry. We'll get some tacos. It's really cool because that spit over there is all sand dunes. It's pretty sweet. Leave it, Bo.
Literally a trash heap.
Leave it, baby.
No sticks around here. No trees, no sticks.
No. Good morning and welcome to, I think it's day 8. I
want to say it's 7, the Maurice.
No, it's 8.
Okay.
Yesterday was 7. Feels like, I don't even know.
Feels like an eternity.
We're licking some mechanical wounds.
It's not that bad. Just had a little bit of electrical fire.
A small electrical fire last night. Yeah, right now we're in Guerrero Negro, which is I think how you say it. Spent the night. It was actually our second site because the first site seemed mildly dangerous. So
Might have been questionable based on the reviews on Overlander.
yeah,
Seemed
looked
like
cool, but
police were involved with an incident
regarding 2 people that may or may not have died.
I don't think they died.
I
My
don't
interpretation was not different than the Mauritius.
I don't know. Anyway, whatever.
She might have blown it up a little bit into something that wasn't, but either way, there were some question marks around it. You never really want to stay at a site that you're not 100% comfortable in.
Yeah.
Really hinders the good night's sleep.
Yeah.
So we bailed.
But what's crazy is every time something like that happens, we had to backtrack closer to town, took a kind of a washboard dirt road to get here, which highlighted the fact that we may or may not have had a small electrical fire. And the fact that it put us closer to town where there's an auto zone, I don't know. Everything happens for a reason, right?
AutoZone.
Yeah. So we're missing a few parts. Brian's gonna fix it. It's fixable. And we're gonna move on today, and it is what it is. But
Right as rain.
we're running a little bit behind per the usual. Like always.
Well, I don't know how strict our schedule is. I mean,
it's strict.
yeah, you have to have a general outline when you do a trip this long, just to have a sense of being able to accomplish everything you want.
Well, it's strict in the fact that we're meeting some people in La Fortuna for surfing for a week, the first week of May, which is in 2 weeks. So that's our only timeline. If we have to shuffle some things and adjust our plans accordingly, we will. But the van is more important than our sightseeing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think we're okay. We might be a half a day behind. We're supposed to be in Scorpion Bay today.
Yeah, or yesterday. But that's all right. We're not too bad. We're max 1 day we're behind, I guess. We can make it up. So Anywho, we're gonna get that fixed. We'll give you guys an update when we get to town, but we've kind of been off camera the last 2 days, really, sort of. So we'll pick you back up when we have a solution.
True that.
All right.
Keep on keeping on.
Okay, we have an update. The part we need, oh, there's many parts that we need. This has nothing to do with the electrical parts. While we were on trail, our check engine light came on. It is the oxygen sensor, number 1. And we have looked and there's not one in not just Baja, but all of Mexico. No part. So we're going to see if we can have a buddy bring it to us from
Here you go, Maury.
Seattle. What'd you get
I think
me?
we know them by name now. We know all our parts guys by name.
Yeah, we're getting familiar with the AutoZone guys here in Baja. And yeah, so we're getting a little closer to a solution. But this does impact if we're going to go on trail or not. Again. Possibly one that we know where there's people, but the 2 that we really wanted to do that are in the middle of nowhere and we don't even know how to get there may or may not be an option at this point, which is really a bummer, but we'll talk about that later. Brian's busy at his new mechanical job as an electrician. Carlos is on social director duty, meeting everyone. And I'm trying to find a way to make my phone work here so I can call the Mercedes dealership, because we have another part that we need to try and find and then have programmed by a Mercedes mechanic, because that's just how easy they make it. So.
Don't ever get a Mercedes.
We're not going there.
Oh, I'm going there.
We're not being negative, Tom.
No, I'm just saying. Don't ever get a Mercedes.
It is hard. If you're traveling, if you plan on traveling outside of the United States and you have a Mercedes.
No, that's not even that. If you get a Mercedes, you have to go to a mechanic, no matter what kind of Mercedes it is. It's not a Sprinter van, just any Mercedes. You have to go to a mechanic that has a Mercedes software on their computer.
Yeah.
Talk to your system, so any part that you put in, you can't get any aftermarket parts unless you have that software to teach the part to talk to the Mercedes computer.
Yeah.
So what that leaves you with is you have to go to somebody that has a Mercedes computer software.
There's not many.
And you might as well just get a Mercedes part, because I mean, you can get an aftermarket part as long as you can teach the part to talk to the computer, but you can't just go to some random mechanic and get an aftermarket part, put it in. It will not work. And when it comes to Sprinter vans, it goes into limp mode.
Yeah. So if you're, say, where we are out of the country and something happens, which it has, we got an error code. So it just really limits how far you want to take your van, where you want to take your van, and it just kind of stinks for people like us that want to get out as far as possible. So a little bit of a bummer, but we're gonna hit that on the way to La Paz. But in the meantime, we're working on it.
Problem solved.
We call this the boneyard.
Right there.
Whoa.
It's clean. Labeled.
Labeled like true Brian fashion.
Wow.
Everything he does is neat and perfect.
Whoa. All right. That's on film. That's on film.
Well, if I fixed it, it wouldn't look like that. It would look like what was in his hand
He
instead.
said everything he does is perfect. That's all I
Everything he fixes is neat and perfect.
Oh, whoa. We might have to rewind. Let's review that one. Wow.
Everything he does is neat and perfect. Replay. Anyway, thanks, Brian, for fixing our van and keeping it from burning down.
We'll see.
We'll see how it goes. Now we have to find our part. Talk to our buddy, who is still a surprise, who you don't know who we're meeting yet in La Fortuna.
Ooh, that's right.
That's right. Well,
That is a surprise.
said secret friend, shh, is, I think, going to bring us the parts we need. So we just got to make it another 2 weeks without this part. Fingers crossed, send us some good juju.
The ladies are going to be excited when they find out who it is. The ladies. He's popular with the ladies.
He really is. All right. We'll give you another update when we have one. All right, guys.
Mamma mia.
It's done. Part is ordered. En route via friend.
No. Come on.
Other electrical problem fixed.
It's like it didn't happen.
It's like it didn't happen 24 hours ago. We're doing okay though. We'll be fine. We have to adjust a few things, and we have some discussions to make on what our next plan is. But in the meantime, it's 3 o'clock.
Taco time. Taco time.
Taco o'clock. We haven't eaten at all today, and we haven't had tacos since we've been here for 8 days. So it's time.
How's that possible?
I don't know. We had chicken. Well, if chicken comes first.
We only had roasters one time.
Chicken roasters once.
It's the only time we've eaten out of, yeah. All right, we're rolling out.
All right, guys, we're going to get
Rolling
some tacos. Finally! We couldn't find a taco place that was open, so we got chicken again. All right, we're going to try this. Pulled off about 10 miles outside of San Ignacio, and we've stayed there before, but you have to stay in actual campgrounds. So we're trying to do more wild camping, dirt roads, and whatnot this trip. So we found a place. We're going to go explore in the cactus fields. See what that's like. Anyway, we're gonna find a spot. I'll show you what that looks like.
Now that frozen.
Now that we're back on the road. Yeah, we're having just constant issues on this trip.
It's been constant. So hard.
There's so much we're not even telling you.
Yeah, it's so hard right now.
Because it's like personal stuff. But, you know, at least we're here. Last time we had to turn around and go home, so at least we're here.
Yeah, we made it actually in the country this time.
We're in the country. Okay, let's do this. Here's our trail. Nice and cool. It's 73 degrees right now. It does. Brian said it feels like it's 50, and it does feel like it's 50. Because we spent half our day at the AutoZone, we wanted a really cool, quiet place to camp. But every square inch of the ground looked like this, so we moved on. Well, guys, we'll leave you here as we search for a place to camp. It's Semana Santa, so we'll pick you up next time in San Ignacio for our first ever Semana Santa party. See you next time. Are you ready for this? You ready? All right, sit. Break. Carlos. On another lottery. Okay. We are back on the road after many mechanical and personal issues. But we're back, and we are looking for a campsite in a really cool area. That's pretty sweet. Check this out. You tell those rocks, buddy. Tell those rocks. Woo! Hold up here. Carlos doesn't like rocks in the ocean. Thinks they're a threat. See you next time. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the things. It really helps us out by allowing us to reach a larger audience.